Well, good morning. So this is Karen with Veronica's Dreams Coaching and Tarot, and today is just our daily reading. Not just, it's exciting. You never know. Um, I'm using the Somnia Tarot today. It is really hard to shuffle. So we're just gonna take a look at what we normally do. I think we're just gonna go. Um, I'm going to do the current situation, past and present influence, negative and positive influence, what we don't see, challenge, and future influence, and then outcome. Let's do a little different today. And one more time, and then I'm going to cut the deck. And actually, I'm going to do a little bit of this because this deck is so hard to shuffle like that because it's really thick and it's a big deck. So just a second, and then I'm going to one more time and cut the cards. Okay, so what we're going to do is look at current situation, past influence, present influence, nice, negative influence, positive influence, what we don't see, challenge, future influence, and outcome. So wheel is at the bottom of the deck. I feel like this is new time. This is something new. It's like almost a feeling of it's time. That's what I'm getting. Like it's time. Whatever is going on here, it's time. So we'll get into the reading, but I feel like almost if it's been something you've been waiting for, that's gonna kind of happen. That was the message I got. And normally I don't see that with the wheel. So the current situation is Emperor. I feel like it is an energy because the past influence is the Empress, and I feel like that is probably your energy past and in the current situation. So I feel like it's taking control of something, like you're taking control of something, and I feel like it has to do with self-care or anything that can bring you self-care. So for instance, if you're doing something that's not making you happy, or you're changing the way you're doing something, you are doing something new, you are doing something different, I feel like this is self-care. And that's because of the Empress, that present influence of the Empress, and I do get the overall feeling that both of these are you. And it is taking control of something, and I like that. Like it's going, yeah, you know what? I gotta do this. I gotta get this right. And I feel like you've been thinking about it with the self care, and I think this is saying it's time. And look at that, Ace, and then another Ace. I don't normally go back, but I picked it up and went, oh, there's Ace of Pentacles too. The other reason why I say that is the present influence is the Nine of Cups, which is our desires, our wishes, our dreams, our hope. Nah, it's not really that. It's not really the star, but it really is creation, making our dreams come true. And this is something that's really important to you. With the Nine of Cups, it's been something that you've been thinking about for a while too. So you're something is happening here that feels so good. Like I did it. Like I'm finally doing it. And so this is present influence. So there is some things happening here where you really feel like your wishes are coming true. Let's do negative influence is the world. There's also something coming to an end. And that's kind of scary. But there's something that it's time for something new and something that you've been working on, but which may bring the ending to something Or this could be, normally you feel very successful, and this is going to make you feel um, like you're doing something completely new, so you don't feel as good at it, or like the expert or whatever. But I do feel like there's something really cool happening here. And yeah, you know what? With the positive influence being the hangman, I do feel like that's about self reflection. Like you've looked and said, I've got to take care of myself. I've got to do something that's going to make me feel good, that's going to bring joy into my life, or whatever the situation is. But I feel like it's self care. So self care can be a lot of different things. It could be just finding things that make you happy. It can be, putting in some kind of health routine. Working out, eating better. It could be just finding something that's going to motivate you. There's so much behind that. Like it could be anything, but I do feel like this is all about you and your you self care. What you don't see is the Six of Swords, which again I feel like has to do with this negative influence to the world. That there will be something that has to go, and you're going to be, but you're leaving it behind too. And what you don't see is you are moving forward. Things are happening. This is a movement card for sure, and it's a good movement card because you're moving into a better place. The Six of Swords is all about going into a better place, not not going into a worse place. So, and you're not seeing this movement yet. However, I feel like you will. Well, I'll explain the future influence here in a minute, but I do feel like this is, it is. So here's the challenge. Okay, so this all kind of is wrapping up here. So the Eight of Pentacles is your challenge, and to me, that is learning something new. So this is, and I didn't even think about this when I saw the world. This is about having to let something go that you're really good at and that you are an expert at, or that you know really well, or something like that. And you're now your wishes are coming true, and this has to do with self-care, learning, motivation, something like that. And now you're going to have to take the time and learn something new. So I feel like this could be hard. um, Bad hard, I don't know. It's just hard because learning, I mean, it, it sometimes feels like you're starting over when you're having to learn something new, even though you're really not. Like if you have any kind of skills, and you're not really starting over, and if you're really young, and when I say really young, like you're in your 20s, learning something new is like no big deal. If you're older like me, it can be, but when you're older too, you have a lot more skills built up just from living life, so I think that it's a challenge, and it feels like a challenge because you're not used to it. But it's not going to be anything that you can't surpass. I really like this reading. So your future influence is the moon, and when I see this, I feel like everything's going to become clear. So this moon card, because he is coming out of the water, he's going up those stairs and coming out of the water, I feel like he's seeing things clearly. And because it's a future influence, I think it's saying you will see things more clearly here shortly. It's like the it's almost like the sun's coming up. So which is the next card, right? This is 18. Yeah. So the next card's 19, the sun. So yeah, I feel like that's what's going to happen. You're just going to go, wow. Like, and it's not going to be too long that things are going to really make sense. This could even be the next couple days where you really are going to have this, you're going to understand it more, and you're going to see what's really happening. Because I think it could be a little unclear, especially with the negative influence being the world, and the challenge being the Eight of Pentacles. You're not quite sure yet, like what you're going to have to do, what you're going to have to learn, what skills you're going to need, what you already have, that kind of thing. Like, but then here shortly, you're going to understand more. Understand what what you're doing, what the role is. I feel like this could definitely be work related, but it could be just putting together a workout routine too, or doing something different, like taking golf lessons and you've never taken golf before, or swimming lessons and you've never really done a lot of swimming. Something like that, like something that's different that you've kind of wanted to do, but you've never really done, and you've been thinking about it for a while, because this to me says it's time. And I think it's awesome. So the outcome, though, is the Knight of Pentacles. And that's just a reminder that everything you're doing is just going to take a little bit of time, and to not get impatient. I think it's not only telling us what the outcome is that patience is going to be needed. It's going to take some time. But remember, and I always say this with the Knight of Pentacles, you're moving. It's moving. It's just slower than you might like. And in this case, it might not even be slower than you might like. Maybe it's good that it's moving a little bit slower. So this isn't such a challenge, this Eight of Pentacles, learning and stuff. So I think this is a really good reading. So I think whatever you've been really thinking about is coming around. Like this is it. And it does have to do something with self-care. And when I say that, I don't want to say it's necessarily health or exercise, or it it could literally be um, just something that makes you feel better. So if there's something that's been lacking in your life, it's going to come around. And it's something that like you've worked at. You've set this some kind of intent already. So you would know what this is if you're watching the reading. This is awesome. Very good reading. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit the like button if you did, and or shoot me a comment. This is good energy. Keep manifesting, man. If this is you, just stay focused, stay on it, because good things are going to happen. I think the Knight of Pentacles brings really good things. Because it's slow intent, and that means things will grow. And this is cool. This is a super cool reading. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Just let me know. Thanks.